Thoughts on Papa Gut calling you out? Oh, Christ. What did he do?
Really
Hold
call him
on.
out,
Blocked
but...
on TikTok. Yeah, it was really weird. He, like, randomly blocked me. Does anyone have a link?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I thought was so interesting about you ever liking Vaush. Like, he does that
Uh-oh.
stupid where he's like, oh, you wear Nike? You
You
have
know,
Well, then you must think that child is completely moral because it
Damn, dude, it's crazy how low IQ the people who dislike me are. This person has never talked to me. I have no idea who this person is, but they formulated in their head some sort of
Okay.
weird Frankenstein version of my positions. This person's called Julzog. That's their name.
I guess Jules is getting some clout now. Oh, Jesus. I don't know, like, not for nothing, but people don't really have time to sift through, like, whatever. I mean, you said some out-of-pocket shit about how, like, it should be okay. I think the whole point was, like, since we're complicit in child, like, slavery because of whatever, like, fucking lithium in our batteries or something, then somehow it should be morally okay based on that to, I don't know, be... like child pornography should be legal because of that. Yeah, no, I don't think that anybody's. I mean, like that sounds about right. The whole point, it's like an ethical thing. The problem is that like making batteries isn't inherently abusive, whereas child porn is inherently abusive. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what you said. So like, that's a pretty low IQ take, unless you've taken it back. I don't know. Whatever. But, you know, you've said some questionable shit about pedophilia, so...
I'm not, Vaush, Vaush and I had a falling out in private.
Oh, a drama.
Yeah, I don't want to get too much into it. I don't like YouTube
not in
toxic.
public, yeah.
No, I just don't like toxic YouTube politics. I think that that's one of the reasons why I'm switching to...
We didn't fall out in private. He randomly DM'd me one day and he was like, is all this true? Is it true?
That's not what I
How
said.
many people have you...
Yeah, none of that's true, man. It's kind of shitty of you to take that out of context. I know he has a larger platform, so he's more interested in like pushing whatever agenda he has to maintain face, I guess. I don't know, whatever.
As this was sort of falling, I just randomly got a DM. And he DM'd me after he made a video, like calling me a pedo or whatever. Like,
No,
and then he deleted.
It's really not what happened at all. Then what are you talking about? Oh, Jesus Christ, Vaush, you are kind of a shitty person, man, huh?
The video, and then he DM'd me. I have no idea, dude. God, people.
I did a stream going through everything, and so the things that bothered me, there were three aspects of what had happened that bothered me. First and foremost, like what he did was shitty, and the apologizing is totally fine. Like I get it. But I had an issue with the apologizing, and you have to understand that like this is an issue that doesn't just come from me. This comes from me and both of my partners who were sexually assaulted. It wasn't just the fact that you were being like really overly aggressive with two women, like in Discord messages. It was like the way that you apologized was really shitty. The first thing is you didn't acknowledge that both of them were sexual harassment. I asked him to clarify three different things. The first was in private because we were supposed to have a conversation about something. I don't even remember what it was, but I don't really like to have conversations with people I don't respect. And so the first question I asked is like, hey, do you consider them both sexual harassment? The second question was like, do you retract your statement where you said that the one girl wasn't mentally capable of like actually engaging in like a flirtatious relationship, which to me was really shitty and narcissistic. And to me heavily suggests that like you don't take any accountability for that. And the last one was the heavy blame on society. When it came to you like sexually harassing that one girl, which takes away all personal accountability, especially since you're somebody that's inserted yourself into feminist ideology. Like you should understand the word no. And it's just shitty because like those are three legitimate questions. And instead of giving an answer, his response was, his whole response was, oh, well, they're in this, you know, whatever, fucking Reddit post. And I'm like, I read through it and it wasn't in there. And then he just kept referring to it. So I don't know if he thought I was going to like take it public, but it's nothing to do with like pedo shit. It was literally because like I thought it was gross. And like I don't respect people who treat women that way. Again, like you could apologize and like move on. It just apologizing means like truly apologizing. And I was asking you in private to clear it up because I can't be friends with somebody who does that. We can kind of just go through the messages just so we can get clarity, because apparently he said some shit that just simply wasn't true. So this is just us saying like happy Thanksgiving, whatever. Like we were friendly. Like he messaged me every once in a while, hey, sorry, interested in your stream, blah blah blah. We were friendly. So I said in here, I just said so we were supposed to have a conversation about something. I think it was something I said. I think it was something about like conservatives not having their jobs. Or
L_Jagger just resubscribed for 2 months.
Thank you so much for the sub. Thank you. And then it was like, oh, we're just setting up the times. A little late for me. Can we do like an impromptu? He said Tuesday. And then I just said, quick question. I saw the Destiny, the video for, and like I made an impassioned video because it bothers me. Not to be all woke progressive, but like it was a bit of a triggering thing to see that. And his responses were what really bothered the fuck out of me. And like I pulled them down because again, I don't like drama, and I didn't put them on YouTube. I just had them. I did a live stream on it. I went off the live stream and I talked to my partners, and like just disengaged from the entire situation. I was like, okay, because like in real life, that's usually how you handle your shit. But I know this is a different platform and whatever. Anyway, I saw the video from Destiny where you exchanged some incredibly predatory messages with a girl. Want to know if that's something you owned up to and moved on, or if you're still doubling down on it. And he said, that video is 2 years old. You're missing a lot of the context here. Did you seriously make a video calling me a sexual predator? So that was, I probably did, yeah. That's probably not an out-of-line accounting. The apology was full of victim blaming, saying that someone who doesn't show interest in you isn't emotionally intact, and then blaming society isn't personal accountability for sexually harassing somebody. I'm aware it's old. The apology is also manipulative nonsense. Then he gives me his like Reddit post. I've already read through it. He said, right, I responded to the situation poorly on stream and have since talked about it extensively, including a massive write-up apology. The issue is settled, and as it can be on my end, at least. Here, hold on. He sent that to me. I already read that. That might be a fun read. Didn't expect you to be the type to catch a sliver of a 2-year-old drama and make a video calling me a predator, but I don't really care about the response online. A lot of it is buried, which feels intentional. And I was referring to the fact that like it was a Reddit post instead of like, you know, like, hey, whatever. But I was just whatever. Really, all I want to know is, one, if you actually acknowledge you sexually harassed both girls. Two, if you walk back the comment about how the one girl wasn't mentally capable of being able to engage sexually, even though you were incredibly aggressive and she said back off multiple times. And three, if you hold yourself personally responsible instead of blaming society for it. This isn't about the internet back and forth bullshit. I'm not leaking any conversation. I just personally can't associate myself with the type of person you've presented yourself in your video. It's really not buried. All of it's been discussed pretty open and regularly on stream. I'm not sure if you could come to the conclusion that's buried when you're not really aware the situation is happening in the past 2 years since then. That write-up had pretty much covered the relevant info. Considering you made yourself half aware of the situation and then came to me a list of demands, I have a feeling you're approaching this in bad faith. Either way, that text post is literally the best available set of answers. I have any questions. The 3 questions are pretty easy to answer. Not interested in coming at this as some form of debate. If you're willing to answer those questions, that's all I really need to know. If you care enough about this to make a video about it, but not enough to inform yourself on any of the extensive discussions that really take place in community afterwards, and say you feel it's buried, I mean, like, not for nothing. Like, to say that, like, I didn't inform myself on the extensive discussions that were taking place in the community afterwards, like, you have to understand, like, nobody gives a fuck about that. Like, this is one of the things where I'd call it buried. Like, if you have an online issue, like if you're having like an online back and forth, like whatever, the whole Destiny thing, and then you make like some kind of response that's not recorded or it's in here, it's not in here. I read through it, unless I misread it, and you could just totally correct me. Like, it's not my responsibility to be up to date on the lore of Vaush. Like, you're not that important as a person. Like, not that, like, I'm sure you are to some people, right? You're more popular, and it's fine, but like, I just don't understand. Like, I'm not going to know like the backstory lore of Vaush. Like, am I supposed to go back to like the Chronicles? Do I go back to your old streams and like rewatch like 40 hours of streams to see like the tidbits where you talk about it? It's just like an unrealistic expectation. Again, these are 3 really simple questions. That's all I really wanted to know. Anyway, absolutely no evidence, but won't spend 5 minutes reading a post designed to answer questions you're asking for. You're not coming at this in good faith. That post is a write-up, and I wrote it up because the situation was incredibly complicated, and there are things that I wanted to own up to. Also, things I didn't think were honestly or are accurately assumed, hence the write-up. If you really care, I read through the answer. I already read it. It wasn't satisfactory. Incorrect answer. My first question was avoiding. The second was the most important. And the second was the most, like, pretty important. Because, like, I don't know. like saying that somebody isn't like mentally capable. Third question, blaming society, wrongdoings video. My VOD about this is down. I'm not making a video. I'm not a fan of the public drama. I just prefer to cut all engagement because it just seemed like he was more interested in like gaslighting instead of like having an honest conversation. I think that the write-up answers everything just fine, but if you're looking for an excuse to cut contact, you don't need to manufacture some weird half-informed outrage over to your drama, right? So here's the problem, is that Vaush is... This is one of those things that's like shitty. Vaush is so self-centered that he thinks that people don't have moral values against raping women. Sorry, that was... The language was too loaded. It was very predatory. And, like, people make mistakes. Everybody overextends. But I didn't like the way that they respond, or he responded. Because, again, like, I don't like the saying that somebody isn't mentally capable of engaging in flirting when they turn you down. That's just incredibly narcissistic. And I don't like that you blame society for, like, personal problems. Like, I understand that you can rope society into everything. But, like, listen, if you don't even know, like, the basics of saying no... Like, that's like, it just feels like, considering he's inserted in like feminist spaces, he should know what no means. So he literally could have just been like, hey, yeah, I fucked up. That's all I needed to hear. But of course, I think Vaush is just very like self-centered, whatever. I don't understand your second question. I think the text writer makes it pretty clear I'm blaming myself. Where would you get any other impression? But no, I don't think I've harassed Pastel because they intended enthusiastically engage with me sexually. I mean, he said that in his video that they weren't, whatever. I think I could have been more understanding, emotionally aware with them, but I absolutely do not think anything there can constitute harassment. I feel it's pretty obvious based on evidence provided, but you seem to be looking for an excuse to cut ties. Anyway, go for it. Nothing here is secret or buried. It's weird that all the bad tube types I've spoken to, you're the one who's ever acted this way over an issue I think has been addressed to the further extent on possible addressing. I feel like you're fixated on the first point and won't be swayed your belief in the engagement with Pastel's harassment. In the case, not much else to say. So, like, listen, not looking for a reason to cut ties. I just simply would have ignored and carried on. I was looking for a reason to continue to develop a relationship with you. Nothing you said suggests that you're truly owning up to the situation. It means you can't grow from it. Inappropriate sexual interactions with people are on the top of my list. It's a very personal topic. Your answers are simply unsatisfactory. All right, well, I genuinely don't know what you're looking for, but that's your right, and you know where to contact me if you want to talk. I feel like I've been forthcoming and honest and fair, but that's obviously a matter of opinion. Listen, so first of all, I don't know. Listen. Listen, maybe, I don't know. I mean, if I'm going to give, like, the benefit of the doubt, you know, the situation is old, so my first seeing the situation bothering me, I mean, like, listen, it was a little triggering, for lack of a better term. Like, again, I have, like, personal history with this stuff. As far as the answers, like, listen, the first one where it's both sexual harassment, like, whatever, I don't care. The thing that bothered me is, like, the saying that the one girl was, like, mentally incapable of engaging with them in, like, a flirtatious relationship. I just find that such a shitty thing to say. It's just such a shitty thing to say. Like, it's so narcissistic and entitled. And then the second thing, we're, like, heavily blaming society. I understand society teaches bad interactions, blah, blah, blah. I get it. I do. But when you're somebody who's, like, really heavily inserted into social issues, you don't really get to make the excuse of, like, oh, I didn't know. I don't know. So all I really wanted was like, hey, yeah, it was shitty for me to say that that person was mentally incapable of engaging with me. And, like, yeah, like, you know, I take personal responsibility. I didn't mean to make it seem like it was society's fault. That's it. First one, like, it'd be nice if, but whatever. I don't really care about the first question. That's pretty much it. Like I said, yeah, it's weird that you, like, made this assertion that I called you, like, a pedophile or something.
It's like, bro,
Like,
how low IQ the people who dislike me are. This person...
And then it would be nice for you to clarify your positions on the pedophile stuff. No offense. Again, what it seems like is Vaush has this idea. I mean, maybe he's cleared it up. I don't really know. I don't think that it's unreasonable to say that, like, not everybody should have to be super engaged in anybody's lore at all. And so, like, there's a lot of maybe it's out of context. From what it seems like to me, not so much. What it seems like is, like, you're justifying child porn based on the fact that we use child labor in making some of our products. And like I said before, that's not inherent to the products. Like, you don't need child labor to make computers. You do need to, excuse me, take advantage of a child to make, you know, bad images, we'll say. And so maybe that needs clarifying. But like, I think that you have cleared it up on your stream. Not everybody is going to watch your stream. Like, not everybody's interested in everybody. Again, you're more popular than me, so this is like something that is even more applicable to me. But I wouldn't expect people to understand like the Papa Gut lore. I say dumb shit on TikTok, and then like people, I'll retract it or I'll contextualize it on a stream, and then people don't watch that because why the fuck would they? You know, why would they watch that? Anyway.
Person has never talked to me. I have no idea who this person is, but they
Well, you're
formulated
famous, no?
in their head some sort of weird Frankenstein version
Anyway.
called Julzog. That's their name.
I'm not. I actually, Vaush. Vaush and I had a falling out in private.
A drama.
Yeah, I don't want to get too much into it. I don't like YouTube
not in
toxic.
public, yeah.
No, I just don't like toxic YouTube politics. I think that's one of the reasons why I'm switching.
We didn't fall out in private. He randomly DM'd me one day and he was like, "Is all this true? Is
I mean, yeah, I don't think it's unreasonable to want to DM you to clarify some shitty things you did in the past. You know?
it true? How many people have you?" And
I don't think that. I wouldn't say that he like. I don't like it's a weird, like the really dishonest interpretation of what I had talked to him about. I guess that's what he felt like it was.
I just randomly got a DM, and he DM'd me after he made a video, like calling me a pedo or whatever. Like, and then he
I
deleted.
didn't make that video at all. It's so weird. Like, why are you lying? I don't know. It's just like weird lies.
The video, and then he DM'd me. I have no idea, dude. God, people are so weird. Are there any people you don't?
I don't know. But yeah, that's the whole drama. You know. Again, maybe he felt attacked. Maybe it was random. Maybe I was too... Well, I guess I'd feel attacked too if somebody made a whole video on it. But still, I don't think the questions afterwards aren't unreasonable.